Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Inside High School Sports. I'm your host, AJ Stabalski, joined by Mike Reed, the Calmum golf coach, and Tyler Koch, a very pleasant and talented Calmum golf player. The Calmum Raiders have earned 4 straight golf sectional titles, so pretty cool stuff for that program. So I want to start with you, Coach Reed. Why was this team capable of taking it to that next level? And I know there's probably been some players that have weaved in and out of here the past few years, but what's made your program so successful?
Our kids play a lot of golf. There's no substitute for it. We have a great relationship with the Caledonia Country Club. And so it's not uncommon for me to go down there in the summer months and see 2 or 3 kids at any time, either on the range or on the course. So they definitely put the time in to get better. It's not like it's just one person. We've had years where that's been the case, but the past, I would say, since 2020 easily, maybe a little before that, we've had 5, 6 kids that are just playing a lot of golf.
Tyler, golf's a very inconsistent game, I would say. Whatever day it is, who knows what's going to really happen. Now, you won a sectional title this year. You mentioned previously that maybe you hit a little bit of a lull mid-season or whatever that may be, but you obviously finished it off with a sectional title. Just describe that feeling and how much that meant to you to claim a sectional title in individual.
I've been trying to do that for probably since 8th grade, and finally getting it done felt good. But in the later part of my round in sectionals, I started to fall apart, but I was proud of the way I kept it together and was able to win.
Now, you mentioned you fell apart during that final round, but still kept it together.
Yeah.
How's that mentality go for a golfer when you're struggling and reeling and you're 30 yards from the green, you have an approach shot and you miss it, you misplace it, or whatever the case may be? What is that mindset to kind of regroup, recover, and how do you go about that?
I just kept telling myself, you have to do this. If not, I don't know what you're doing. All the practice was for nothing, so just keep going. Can only get better. Can't get much worse, so.
And then where have you really seen your game improve over the course of your high school career? A short game, driving, putting, what's really kind of brought you to this point?
It's more mentally. When I was younger, I'd just make stupid decisions, and now I feel I'm more, developed in all the things I do, and it helps me score lower than I used to.
Now, Coach, Tyler just mentioned that he scores lower than he used to. You've probably been a part of that, been able to witness that. How have you seen him grow on the mental aspect of things and the physical side of things throughout your coaching career?
I would say the mental aspect has been where Tyler's improvement has been. He's 100% on. He's a kid that as a 6th grader, I'm over at the golf course in the summer playing in some of my leagues, and he's out there chipping and putting. So, for him, there was no possible way for him to put more time in on the course like that. That wasn't going to happen. And again, as a team, we talk all the time about trying to put yourself in a good position. So, you know where the pin is, you know where the trouble is. And I think he kind of finally figured out that he's not hitting the ball any better because he's already strikes the ball extremely well. So he had to figure that mental part out about putting himself in a position to be successful. And then the other part of it is, not letting a minor disappointment get in the way. So especially when you're playing 18-hole round, for sectional, if you have a bad hole, you got plenty of holes to make it up. Sometimes younger golfers have 1 or 2 bad holes, especially in the beginning, and they're done. And Tyler's just learned to persevere through that. And like he said, this past year it happened, later in the rounds, holes 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. And he comes back and rallies and gets a birdie on 18 to put it away. So that was great.
Yeah, that definitely shows perseverance from Tyler there. Tyler, support systems are huge in sports, and that's something that I'm sure has helped guide you to this point. Can you walk us through your support system and how they've really helped you, whether it's Coach Reed, family, friends, and how they really tried to push you or maybe joked around with you? Golf's I would say it's a quiet sport, but outside the course, you kind of razzle-dazzle each other. So just discuss that.
Yeah, so my dad's been to literally every single high school golf match I've ever played in, and he goes over the rounds with me, how I did, what I could improve on, stuff like that. So he's a huge help, helps me a lot, pushes me to get better. But also, when I first started, I made a couple friends who were on the golf team, and like they come support me now. We hang out all the time, golf. That really helps, like just having people around you pushing you to be better at all times. And then especially even the younger kids now, like I can sort of fill that role for them. You know what I'm saying? Like push them to get better over the summer, make them improve, stuff like that.
So you kind of brought up leadership in that kind of answer there. How has your leadership developed now, going into your senior season? You have probably a lot of younger kids on the team that you're trying to hold up to the standard that you kind of live by, help, Coach Reed capture these 4 straight sectional titles. What's your leadership style and how do you go about it?
I'd say I'm more of a quiet guy. I mean, I'm not that outgoing, but I feel like I lead by example. I show them what to do, kind of pull them along with me sometimes, stuff like that.
Now, Coach Reed, back to you. What does it mean for you personally to see a team that you coached capture 4 straight sectional titles? Walk me through that feeling each time.
It's been great. Like the first couple of years, we weren't certain. I mean, the format's been the way it has, where you play head to head now for 4 years. I mean, since the format changed, we've been there every year. And the first couple of years, we weren't quite certain. And I think this last year was a little different. We felt more like we were the ones being chased. Like we knew that we had a good squad coming back. All 4 kids from last year's team that we counted the score of were returning. We had 2 seniors on the roster last year, and we didn't use their scores in the final. So I think the kids felt it too, just felt a little bit of that extra pressure. So this year, it wasn't as celebratory as it was kind of a relief. But we'll see, we'll see as we go forward. We graduate out, 2 real important pieces of our puzzle, and we'll have to find a way to replace them.
Yeah, so going to those other 2 important pieces of the puzzle, Tyler, your teammates. This is obviously, you won an individual title, but there's also a lot more involved with that. Mm-hmm. Can you discuss the impact your teammates have had on you and just what they mean to you in general?
I say I'm more close with the guys who already graduated, and like back then they'd push me. Like it's all support. Like just getting to compete with people every day, that's huge. And then the guys now who just graduated this year, like Noah, he's been a huge help just playing with him every day. He's pretty good at golf, so it's good to just compete with someone every single day in, day out. Just it's huge to improvement.
Now, coming off a sectional title, like we've again previously mentioned individually, Tyler, where do your goals sit at for next season? You're a junior, you have a big senior season coming up. I'm sure you want to go out with a bang. You really want to push yourself. So what are your goals and where do they stand entering your final season as a Calmon Raider?
I just want to score way lower. Like this year, I didn't really score too great. I had a couple great rounds, but nothing too special. I want to make it to the state tournament. That's my biggest goal. I just feel like my game should have been good enough, but I just haven't performed good enough lately. So that's the biggest goal.
And then
also,
go ahead.
Also team-wise, like I just want to get that last one, kind of just put the period on it all.
Now, Coach Reed, how far can Tyler go in his senior season? You've witnessed him, so you also know him best. You coach him all the time. You say you see him at Caledonia Country Club all the time, hitting balls, working hard. So how high is the ceiling for Tyler for next year and beyond?
I think his goals are right on. Like the state tournament is a special thing for a small school golfer. We rarely have kids break through that ceiling. Most recently, Ethan Provino from Mount Morris did, and that's been somebody that Tyler has battled. In sectional play, like when Tyler says he's having a hard time winning sectionals, that's because Ethan Provino was there. I mean, Ethan was a darn good golfer, and Tyler was right there with him, beat him 1 year in counties. So I think that's a great goal for him to have. It's hard to achieve, but he's not wrong. If he plays his game, it puts him right in there with the best golfers in Section 5.
And 2 more questions here for Tyler. First, what advice would you give to future Calmon athletes, golfers, maybe golfers just in general, just because we really have touched a lot on the mental part of the game here, and I think that's really important. Just some of your advice for future Calmon athletes and golfers.
Just work hard. That's all you can really do. Work hard, focus on yourself, kind of don't look at other people's scores and get down on yourself. You can only control what you can do. And that's all parts of life. You can only control you. So just work hard. Try and outwork everyone around you. That's what I try to do. Everyone I see around me, I try and outwork. It's kind of, I don't know, important to me, I guess. Stuff like that, yeah.
And then why are you proud to represent Calmon? Smaller school, kind of trying to put that golfing program on the map. Why are you proud to represent the Calmon Raiders?
Small schools, it makes you feel proud, like coming into school. I know every single kid in school basically, so it's like kind of pride seeing everyone just focus on the golf team, bring attention to us. And then especially schools around, having people come up to me and be like, congratulations on your year or whatever. It's very special to me. And small school, like every time we win sectionals, we go around the monument in town, and that's a really good feeling. Really good feeling. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Coach Reed, thank you for joining us here. Tyler, thank you for joining us, Coach. 4 straight sectional titles. Can't argue with that. Tyler, helping your team propel them to those team sectional titles while also doing something individually. Golf's a fun sport. Thank you for taking the time today and chat with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.